Well, it's a perfect summer evening to sit outside and enjoy some classical music.
It really is. The Wisconsin Chamber Orchestra is performing another concert on the square. The theme of tonight's concert is Reflections on Liberty.
Our Eric Franke joins us live from the Capitol Square with a special guest. Eric?
That's right, Mark and Susan. What a beautiful night. I'm okay with a jacket. It's like 75, 80. Just beautiful night. If you want to come down, it's a perfect night for this. And I'll tell you, we've had a great start to the Concerts on the Square summer so far, and we want to bring in Joe Loehnis, the CEO of Concerts on the Square. You have had a great start so far to this. The weather has worked out perfectly so far.
Yeah, I don't want to jinx myself. 2 for 2 and 3 for 3 after tonight. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about this show tonight. Reflections in Liberty, some powerful messages with the composer in residence. Bill's going to be here tonight as well.
Yeah, Dr. Banfield's our new composer in residence, and tonight we're going to hear a world premiere, one of the first of 2 major commissions that we're commissioning him to do for Madison. And Reflections on Liberty, it's a piece with some inspiration for the words of Frederick Douglass, and I think some of the messages are very relevant today, and he brings in narrators and the saxophone and imagery, so it's going to be a really amazing production.
We're going to have Dr. Banfield on at 5. We'll talk a little bit about what this residency program truly is and how he works with the maestro to make this all kind of come together beautifully. And what's really neat about this is that you bring a lot of local components to the stage tonight to share these messages, these very powerful messages that Dr. Banfield is putting out there through music.
Yeah, absolutely. This program tonight, you have the local Middleton choirs. You have Leotha Stanley and Friends, who's a local legend.
Incredibly talented.
Yeah, you have obviously the musicians of Wisconsin Chamber Orchestra. You have an LA-based saxophonist, Grace Kelly, Dr. Reverend Alex G. as narrator. You have Katie Parrish, who's a PhD student, also narrator. There's just so much that represents why we do what we do, just bringing community together, not only here on the grass, but also on the stage.
And there's this show is really deep tonight. There's a lot of variety. We didn't even get to the saxophone player. You have a pretty good saxophonist up there tonight.
Yeah, check her out, Grace Kelly. She has a pretty huge following. She's performed in 40 different countries at the tender age of 27. So she's going to be ripping it tonight. And, you know, Patrice Rushen, a lot of people know her as a jazz pianist, Academy Award-winning composer, but she's an amazing classical composer, and we're having a piece called Mine Eyes Have Seen the Glory that's on the words of Martin Luther King. So we're actually going to hear King's speech tonight over the loudspeaker while the music is playing.
Oh, my goodness. You can just sense how powerful that's going to be.
Yeah.
We mentioned been off to a great start. I haven't been down here in so long, and a lot of these folks, you know, we talked about the first couple weeks. It's been a couple years since we had a full, true Concerts on the Square experience. Any housekeeping items that everybody been behaving? Everybody been reminded how to figure this whole thing out down here?
Yeah, it's funny how you can flex your muscles after being atrophied for a few years, and people just recognize what the routine is. So from a housekeeping item, I think everything is right where it needs to be. What's really awesome about this is a true community event. It cost us $1 million to do, and we've had already over 100 of our blanket patrons sign up to become friends of the new Wisconsin Chamber Orchestra program. So this is a $5 a month sustaining program to help us continue to do our work for this community. And I'm really encouraged, and I hope to get a lot more friends throughout the summer.
Yeah, it's off to a great start, and this is truly a treasure, as we were talking about before off camera, what a treasure this is to the city of Madison. We've talked about the depth of this performance tonight, and you know, over the last 2 years, we talked about the fans of this event sitting. We haven't talked a lot about the artists themselves, the musicians. How have they made it through? I mean, you're a cellist. I mean, how did you guys kind of figure this out over the last couple of years? I mean, practicing together and all that stuff had to be quite a challenge.
I think that the single thing that musicians missed the most was the audience interaction, because as artists, you feel and feed from your audience. So that really stifled us for 2 years, but we pivoted. Pivot's a big buzzword, but we went into digital chamber programs. So these musicians, over the last 2 years, we worked with our players committee. We did 2 major chamber programs, one at the Sylvie and one at the new Youth Arts Center on East Washington. So we found a way to keep playing, to keep making music together, and not only that, I forgot to mention, we were at Breese Stevens Field for 2 years, keeping this tradition alive. So, you know, musicians are gritty. I mean, they love their craft. They love to serve the community. So it was hard, but here we are today, 2 years later, and we're back playing for 50,000 people.
That's a great start. Joe Loehnis from the Wisconsin Chamber Orchestra. Great to see you. We're going to let you go get ready for the show, and we'll talk to him again at 6 o'clock. We're going to talk to Maestro Andrew Sewell coming up with Dr. Bill Banfield about this show as well next hour on News 3 Now at 5. Mark, Susan?
Perfect evening for it. Eric, thank you.